It was the bizarre murder of 19-year-old Pam Milam that would blaze our trail to the journey to justice. The college sophomore was found dead, bound and gagged in the trunk of her own car, but who did it? The shocking answers would surface nearly 50 years later in a very surprising way. It was like a dark cloud settled over campus. Indiana State University student Pam Milam was dead, murdered after a night out with friends.
We were not allowed really to walk at night without an escort. People just didn't feel safe for a little while.
It was a culture shock for students like Susan Martis. The campus they knew, loved, and trusted was now consumed by fear and questions.
Every time I'd pass through that parking lot, I would just think, I wonder what happened. I mean, I wonder how that all came about.
It was a lot smaller when I started, but it's taken up a lot of space.
Thick binders and brown bags now hold 47 years worth of answers. Terre Haute Police Chief Sean Keene wasn't even born during Pam's murder, but today he's one of the very few who knows the case front to back.
They interviewed all these different males, college students and people. No one ever stood out as, hey, this is really a strong person.
Except Robert Austin. In November 1972, months after Pam's death, he admitted to a string of nearby abductions on campus, but not hers. Police always suspected him, but they never had proof. But with DNA testing in 2001, Keene says they sent a sample from Pam's blouse to get answers.
And it didn't match him.
But in 2008, as chief of detectives, Keene used other ways to narrow down Pam's killer. New methods of DNA testing showed whoever it was acted alone. Meanwhile, for 7 years, Pam's case sat in a system called CODIS, which is a combined DNA index system. Police use it as a database to link violent crimes, but unfortunately, it showed no hits. Her case was also featured in the DOC playing cards, which you see here, and those are given to inmates to jog their memory on different cases, but no luck. Keene also pushed for familial testing, but that, along with other methods, fell through.
2018, then, what I do is I'm reading about Parabon, which is the lab that does the genetic genealogy.
Parabon Nanolabs of Reston, Virginia has developed sophisticated software capable of unlocking information contained in DNA left at a crime scene.
Parabon Nanolabs was unable to be interviewed for our story, but according to its website, it's based out of Virginia. Testimonies show the lab has cracked dozens of cold cases. Using DNA samples, experts can predict a snapshot of a person's appearance and family tree links. The lab created this composite of Pam's potential killer, a white man with blonde or brown hair and blue or green eyes. Using what's called centimorgans, genealogists tracked down family ties in Washington, Indiana, and Daviess County.
What we found out was it was this Jeffrey Lynn Hand.
And he had a past. In July of '73, after Pam's murder, he picked up a hitchhiking couple at 3rd Street and I-70 in Terre Haute. In Posey County, he killed the man, but the woman escaped.
Long story short, essentially he gets found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Hand was actually released in 1977, but in January of '78, he died in a shootout with police. News articles say he tried to abduct another woman in Kokomo, Indiana. With similarities in the crimes and the photos, how could police know they finally had their man?
We determined that he had 3 children, 2 boys and a daughter, and that his widow was still alive and she lived in Vincennes.
Using DNA from Hand's 2 sons, widow, and the sample from Pam's case,
In both cases, the suspect profile that we had taken from Pam Milam with 99.999% accuracy was the father of both of those children. So that's how we proved, without a doubt, that he was the person responsible.
it was the phone call Sam Milam waited years to hear.
In a way, I feel like I know him because for 11 years we've been on this journey.
A journey that would finally end face to face. In May 2019, our cameras were rolling as news broke of Pam's killer. While her parents died not knowing the answer, her sisters reunited with the man who did.
I wish that my parents could have seen that, because that would have also have given them a little more peace in their life.
I don't think I'll ever be able to experience anything close to that again throughout my career. And I hope no family ever has to go that long without answers again.
At the time of Pam's death, Hand was 23 years old, and with the look of a college student, police say he fit in among the crowd.
I don't see him as a monster. I see him as a severely disturbed person.
But for Sam, her sister's killer slipped through the cracks. What she hopes others take away is a lesson. one that Pam, the aspiring educator, still teaches from the grave.
That night was the extremely unfortunate case where he didn't care about others, and my sister Pam was not cared about in that moment. If either one of those cases were different that night, Pam would still be here with us.
Chief Keene says he can only find one arrest for Hand on record, and that was the hitchhiking murder after Pam's death. Though Hand was released in 1977, Keene believes he did not stop killing, and there could be more cases we don't even know about. And while Pam Milam's case is solved, Terre Haute police say they'll provide any information in hopes of helping other families find their own journey to justice.